Thank you for joining us. I'm Alexis Rogers. We start with breaking news out of Hennepin County, where less than an hour ago, a Minnesota state trooper was charged in the shooting death of Ricky Cobb II. This is a story we've been following closely since it happened last July. Cobb was shot during a traffic stop at I-94. Now Trooper Ryan Longren faces second-degree murder, second-degree manslaughter, and first-degree assault charges. Here's some background on the case. Troopers pulled over Cobb after they learned that he was wanted for a felony-level violation. Lundgren shot Cobb from the passenger side of the car as the car began to move with another trooper at the driver's side. All of this was captured on body cam and squad car video. Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty said the shooting was not justified because the troopers are not trained to shoot a driver in an attempt to stop a moving car.
They are not allowed to shoot at a car which is driving away. They're not allowed to shoot someone to prevent the car from driving away. They are only allowed to use deadly force if it will prevent great bodily harm or death to their partner or somebody else.
Prosecutors are not seeking bail from Lundgren. His first court appearance is still pending. This is a developing story, and we'll be following this throughout the day, including reaction from Cobb's family and a response from defense attorneys. We will have updated things for you throughout the night on air and online at KARE11.com. Well, new at noon, two Minneapolis firefighters are recovering after a fire and explosion knocked them off their feet. This happened a little more than 6 hours ago. A fire spread to two buildings on 6th Street South in the Cedar Riverside neighborhood. While opening a wall to search for flames, a smoke and gas buildup triggered that explosion. The firefighters were taken to a hospital with minor injuries. Both buildings are uninhabitable. There also are some people who are displaced as well, and the Red Cross is trying their best to help them out. Let's go ahead and take a live look over downtown Minneapolis, where we're seeing another cloudy day. It follows an unusually misty January morning. Ben, it sounds like the weather today very similar to what we could expect for the next few days.
Yeah, don't expect to see a whole lot of sunshine or really a break from these low-hanging clouds. Now, earlier this morning, we had some areas of freezing fog. That's where the fog is present with temperatures colder than freezing, and we did see some icy spots. You can see on the current visibility, we have seen improvement in the foggy conditions, and also a positive, the temperatures are warming above freezing. So any ice that developed this morning quickly melts. 35 degrees right now. You can see it is a little colder further north. Alexandria is still a degree below freezing. But just keep in mind the next couple of mornings, Thursday morning and Friday morning, could see similar conditions. More of that freezing fog, these low-hanging clouds, maybe some temporarily low visibility in the morning and some briefly slippery roads. But you can expect improving conditions throughout the day. Temperatures today warming above the freezing mark. We're already at that mark, and we're going to stay in the mid to upper 30s the next couple of days. And guess what? The temperature is forecast to get even warmer. We'll talk about when 40 or warmer is in your forecast. That's coming up. Alexis?
Even warmer. Do not tempt me with a good time, Benjamin. Thank you so much. Well, it's another win for former President Donald Trump, this time taking the New Hampshire presidential primary. Now attention is shifting to South Carolina, where his opponent, Nikki Haley, was once governor. NBC's Bree Jackson brings us the latest from both sides.
Former President Donald Trump defeating his lone Republican rival here in New Hampshire, moving him one step closer to a possible rematch with President Biden. Now, Trump does have history on his side. No Republican has ever won both Iowa and New Hampshire and then failed to win the party's nomination. But despite her Granite State loss, former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, she did not sound defeated at all. During a speech last night, she stressed that the race is not over, and her campaign has vowed to stay put at least until Super Tuesday, which is in March. Now, on the Democratic side, President Biden did beat his Democratic challengers in New Hampshire. Despite being a write-in candidate, President Biden's name was not even on the ballot here because Democrats made South Carolina their first sanctioned primary state. Both Republicans and Democrats now have their eyes on South Carolina, where primaries will be held there in February. And keep in mind, back in 2020, South Carolina was key to catapulting Joe Biden to the top of the Democratic ticket. So now it could play a key role in whoever may win the Republican nomination. In Manchester, New Hampshire, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
Bree, thank you. A proposal to call for a ceasefire in Gaza is moving forward in Minneapolis. Dozens of people showed up to a meeting last night where the council voted to approve a resolution that also ends U.S. military funding for Israel. 9 councilors voted in favor, 2 others opposed it. A largely symbolic move that several cities across the country have also made.
I believe that as human beings on the planet, we have to stand up against injustice.
These type of complicated things are divisive, and like the last thing I want to do as a council member is further separate the people of Minneapolis.
There were several amendments made to that resolution that goes in front of a council again for a final vote tomorrow. Well, go ahead and take a look at this map. It shows where all of the St. Paul Baseball Hall of Famers grew up, now including All-Star catcher Joe Mauer. Less than 18 hours ago, Mauer got the call that on his first time on the list, he has made it into Cooperstown. Mauer played 15 seasons with the Twins, was named an All-Star 6 times, and in 2009 was the American League MVP. He played his last professional game in 2018. He says he's still speechless over the latest honor.
I don't think it's sunk in yet, and I just can't wait to celebrate and really celebrate with St. Paul, Minnesota.
Mauer will be enshrined on July 21st. Leading up to that day, we're seeing a lot of excitement, including one of his high school coaches.
It was exciting as heck, and I had like 4 phone calls from people saying, is this the greatest thing in the world? And it sure is. Joe deserves it. Just not because just how he played, but kind of a man he is and the kind of young man he was in high school.
Mauer didn't just play baseball in high school. When he was a senior in high school, he was the #1 high school football player for USA Today and the #1 baseball player for USA Today at the same time. Wow. Well, we've made it out of our cold snap of frigid temperatures, and now we get to reap some of the benefits. The ice castles in Maple Grove opened in less than 5 hours. Michelle Beck gives us a sneak peek.
We're out here even before the sun is up, and that's because this is when the ice castles is the most beautiful. There are some very cool features you and your family want to check out starting at 5 o'clock tonight. There's ice you can slide down, a polar pub for adults to enjoy, as well as some tunnels kids or really anyone adventurous enough can crawl through. Get this, creators say this winter phenomenon weighs more than 25 million pounds and is built by hand. Up to 12,000 icicles harvested, then one by one sculpted into these formations. Not hard to believe, artists say they spend thousands of hours to create, even freezing LED lights inside the ice to get this beautiful glow. And all of this, whether or not the ice castles stay open or whether the ice stays frozen, that is all weather dependent. And so the CEO says today that families should come sooner than later. In Maple Grove, Michelle Beck, KARE 11 News.